You wake up in a room that you scarcely recognize. You look around and you see that this room it's really quite plain, with a few pieces of furniture in a largely empty space. You slowly sit up and examine the room more carefully. There's a small armchair in the corner of the room, opposite of the bed, a desk with 2 drawers and a shelf just to the right. Then you're sitting on this bed with several books next to you. The door looks fairly sturdy and made of a dark wood of some sort. You try to get up, but you find it difficult, as if your bones were brittle and your muscles weak. You feel like you're ancient. Then suddenly, you hear voices outside the door. You turn towards it as quickly as your protesting joints let you, and you listen very closely. It's hard to hear very well. It's as if your hearing has gotten much worse and you can't figure out why. From all the small flashes of the conversation you're able to make out, you can tell that these people are planning on sending you away somewhere. You look around to see if there's any way that you might be able to escape from these people that are planning to send you to some horrible place that they're thinking of. You walk over to the desk and open the first drawer, but find nothing but a piece of paper. You pick it up in hopes to read it, but you realize that your eyes are not working quite the way they should be. The letters, they're fuzzy, incomprehensible. You curse in frustration to find that your voice comes out as a quiet croak. You seem to be incredibly weak, and your senses are just weakened to a point of no return. The people on the outside of the door right now, they must have drugged you. That way you wouldn't escape. You curse again as you realize this, and then open the next drawer. It's much bigger than the first one, but your shadow above it makes it nearly impossible to see anything that's inside. So you just reach in and grab the first thing your hand touches. It's cool to the touch, and kind of heavy. Clearly metal of some kind. You seem to have grabbed some kind of cylinder, but as you pull it out of the drawer, you realize what it is. You're holding the barrel of a pistol. You correct your hold on it, and it feels good in your hands, almost as if it's familiar to you. Then you hear the door opening, and you point it across, right towards the door. Standing in the doorway, your blurry sight picks up a young man and a young woman, both probably in their early to mid-20s. They walk in. They both have blonde hair and striking green eyes. They look at you, shocked and almost speechless. You try to yell at them and ask who they are, but it still comes out in a pitiful-sounding croak. They both look very, very upset by this, and they walk towards you, slowly and cautiously. Grandpa, it's us, okay? Don't you remember your grandchildren? Josh and Emmy? They look at each other, and the girl begins to sob, crying quietly. The blank look on your face has been answer enough, apparently. You feel awful. You let the gun loosely in your hand, letting it fall to your side. Josh, is it? I'm sorry, but I don't know what you mean. I'm no grandfather. I don't even have my own children yet, let alone grandchildren. I'm only 20 years old, for God's sakes. They both look at you, and Emmy can only cry harder, holding on to her brother for support. Grandpa, you have Alzheimer's. You're not 20 anymore. You turned 67 last month. You go cold as you realize that this must be true. All of the problems you've had, the signs of old age. You still don't remember who these young people are, but all the evidence seems to back up what the boy Josh has been saying. You finally break into a smile and walk over to the girl, opening up your arms and embracing her. She cries on your shoulder for a minute. Then you feel a horrible pain in your abdomen. You look down and you see that blood is beginning to soak through your shirt. You see a knife in the hands of the young woman and notice that she has the quaintest smile on her face. You look in the young man, he is brightly smiling at your blood flow. He almost has there for a minute. He's done better than most, I must say. The man who turns to you and says, congratulations. You're the first one to even come as close to figuring it out. Come on, doesn't anyone think to just look down at themselves when we mention the age? You look down and you see that they're clearly not in your 60s. The last thing you think before everything goes black is that you should have shot them when you had the chance.
So you're sitting there and you're like, hey man, that was a really good pasta. I wish I could read more pastas like that. Now wouldn't that be amazing? And I'm like, hey man, look at this. This is Creepypasta Network. This is like the best place to be for that sort of stuff. You just go in, you click, you go to the story section, you see a bunch of good stories like the ones I just read. So if you feel like getting off your lazy ass and clicking a stupid link, you'll be just fine. I really should insult you, I'm sorry. Just go to the link. Now. Please. Pretty please. Now.